Dzień dobry, witam bardzo, ale to bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym epizodzie Zagrajmy w Disco Elysium. Zobaczmy, co ci panowie, chyba tylko panowie, może pani, nie wiem. Zobaczymy.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a 𝗱𝗵𝗲𝗏𝗁 tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his 𝗱𝗥𝗣𝗚 and 𝗱𝗏𝗏𝗏. This produces a guttural 𝗱𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 accent and makes him sound more animal. Or maybe it's not 𝗱𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
You know about him?
He's overcome with some mysterious emotion. It's not merely adoration for what a hard cop you are either. It's more. Could it be gratitude?
You know Van Eyck?
Jestem wielkim fanem.
Wow!
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I!
Oh! Is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Okej.
You see a youngish man.
Hello, I'm Andre.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm.
This is my posse, Noid,
The young man with earrings looks at you
and Egghead.
Egg!
Together with 𝗱𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗏, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single...
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent!
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Potrzebujesz czegoś?
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative...
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads!
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while. Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
It's as if...
No zdarza się.
Blam! Straight in the eye. A stabbing pain.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was...
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't...
I really am sorry, man.
Wow. Looks like there's quite a lot there.
The key?
He is
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85%.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Me too. I shouldn't have... Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. As always... So yeah, to talk, it's good you talk to Andre first. Get the hardcore aspect.
It's not easy to reach here.
Yes, further 𝗬𝗪𝗏 would do good for us. Yeah, gotta compare. I suck at socializing, man.
Nie wiem jak z tobą sobie połączyć fale, ale idziemy ogarnąć ten kościół. Zróbmy save'a. Zostało nam tylko jedno leczonko. Gdzieś tu miał być kościół. Znaczy w sensie, to jest ten kościół, tak? Jakby my po prostu teraz klucz będziemy do niego mieć. Ja pierdolę, tam są ludzie zamknięci. No dobra. Okej. Wypuśćmy ich.
Heavy wooden doors, the lock.
Let's go.
As you do, a great in the heart.
Jezus, ale to jest klimatyczne miejsce. O ja pierdolę, ty.
A machine stands in the corner.
A radio computer. And
These machines sometimes harbor traps.
we should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
You see, the lieutenant says nothing. You see a bar of fabric. The static gets louder.
Good morning, votre accident, 𝗀𝗵𝗏𝗏.
This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a
The filament you have inserted into the core, that was a question. Good.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Votre accident is good.
The machine's keyboard is still nothing happens.
Dobra, nie znam hasła. Zna szalik. Próg bólu. Dobra, wolę dramaturgię. Mhm. Jakieś buty tam są. Tędy mogłem jeszcze pójść, widzicie. Za buty. Empatia +1, a te... Dobra, no to wolimy empatię. Aha, myślałem, że to jest zejście na dół, a to chyba ta lampa się odbijała. O, tędy mogłem pójść.
In white, silver, and apricot faience. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
O nie.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress.
Klęknij.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wood. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you. The woman looks down at you, kneeling. She towers among her followers. She acknowledges the passing of some you. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman's...
Dobra, zróbmy zapis, bo coś mi się wydaje, że ciężko będzie to ogarnąć.
The mother of humanism stands above. Despite the
Wow.
damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from the highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery, many things, draped in ancient sadness. The past is a silo of sadness. No, you must know. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman.
Okej.
She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels, even before she was declared an innocence. It was on her advice that 𝗷𝗓𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress.
Kurde, ale to jest gruby tekst. Tak dobrze się to odkrywa.
That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the as did we all. The lands of the Mest and the Occident, in a city called 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗶. She was dressed in a whitened, oh yes, she looked like midwinter snow was beating the cobblestone. One of the men in this secret service, something that had walked in our midst.
Jezusie, ile tego jest.
In the chest with a fowling piece. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others.
Co było w niej przerażającego?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
Ostrzeżenie.
Good. Now back out of this corner of your mind by choosing the bottom option.
U diabła z tym.
But she was not hell. She is the opposite of that. The wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side, momentarily.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. 𝗀𝗬𝗂, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? A pang of guilt? The lieutenant is leaving something out.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here. Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure.
Aj.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I am pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
O! Przeklęta i limerańska kość.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin. It's not spiritual, it's constitutional.
Okej. Spróbujmy.
The mother of humanism stands above you. The shards glimmer.
No nie, no proszę was. Dajemy to. To jest ciekawe.
The mother of humanism stands above. The jigsaw of
Yes.
broken shards falls to place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both. Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned. Or just hooligans looking for something to break.
Kim jest ta starsza kobieta?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 in one hand and a scepter in the other.
𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏.
This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
Motto? Jaką ma treść?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this 𝗬𝗓𝗓, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change, akin to finding life. Could these words be the password that unlocks the filament memory?
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Dlaczego?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Jakie jest teraz motto moru?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
No to motto bardziej mi się podoba.
So do I.
The mother of humanism towers above.
Tędy weszliśmy. Tu możemy wyjść. Tu nic nie ma.
The machine's keyboard is behind the another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker.
Good morning, votre accident. Good.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to...
No.
A hint system is not.
Still, no. I am...
I'm afraid we...
No. Can you please repeat précis? Votre accident. Is there anything else? Yes.
She repeats passwords.
There,
Doesn't it get lonely? Sitting there.
lonely.
That's why.
Now, please tell me the company. One, votre.
That's not bad.
I wouldn't. Any other questions? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard.
Bez hasła jestem w dupie zupełnie. Nic nie ma, serio. Pusty kościół.
The mother of humanism stands above it.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous.
The woman looks by in silence, smile.
It's not spiritual.
Kurczę, czy coś mi ucieka przed tym? No dobra. A co to jest?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown.
O kurwa, to jest ciekawe. Zręczne paluszki. A, mam zręczne paluszki.
An old door, worn
Niemożliwy.
It's military. The washerwoman mentioned a depot at the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and...
Dobra, ale co ja mam zrobić dla tych ludzi? Tam coś miało być? Tam nikogo nie ma. A co to jest? Dreszcze +1. No dobra, no i tutaj w sumie się temat zamyka. O, wait. Co to jest? Retoryka +1. Okej. Tu jest niemożliwe do otwarcia coś.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of the cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
Zdobyłeś brudna kurtka. Encyklopedia +2. Percepcja -1. No dobra, spróbujmy. Wait.
Honorable one, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
Zaraz, były jakieś punkty honoru?
Of course there were honor points. Did you think no one was paying attention to all of your honorable deeds, honorable one? Oh, the modesty on this one. Another, you are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop. Yes, your deeds have spoken for you. Even among the honorable, honor comes from deep within you. And to truly, you need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors. People will be in awe. Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then you brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds.
Co? Co się odjebało? Palce w dupę?
Socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been.
Lewica daje dodatkowe punkty.
The smell. It's awful and familiar. It doesn't help. You can still... Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying... It is death. The lieutenant has...
Eyes up, detective.
There's some tear and 2 empty bottles of...
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with... Whoever tossed it here was a red Astra is the black market version of... You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it. It's no older than a day.
Czy to będzie ten zagubiony mąż?
Lies on the boardwalk. His limbs bent
Oh, fuck.
at an unnatural angle.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
Another dead body. This is calm now. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, a cool leather jacket. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card.
Good. We should take...
The man has fought a bad fall. His expression, height, 170 to 170. He was confused when he died. There's some dried blood. Be very, very careful. A dried chunk. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was...
They screamed. He could have easily disappeared. A .7
tear all around it.
𝗵𝗵𝗹𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗵, the blackness of death.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always...
The entire boardwalk.
Looks like one of the locals. But that's just a lazy assumption.
A dead work.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you... The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone. Death by misadventure. He's... No, I...
Agreed.
Oh yes, some symptom, but I think that death arrived. What about...
Sometimes a kebab.
They'll seal this. Not that sealing it off would keep any... It does seem to be a pretty straight... From where I stand, I can see two options. A field autopsy. I'd say we should just write down head trauma and leave it at that. That's good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from...
As you hold it in your hands, it's a sordid, filthy. It occurs. Why? Why did you think of it? Now you're just... The library card. Billy is a unisex. Whoever owns this, most of these titles, if lost...
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy męża.
A man lies on the board.
Dobra. No i kolejny trup, kurde jego mać. Czy to jest ten targ rybny? I za co tutaj?
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out 𝗱𝗵𝗹𝗵𝗃 R&D. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon all... There's something in the wind.
Maybe we could, you know, ask the man who's pointing at...
Great idea.
In there?
Why single out this one building?
Dreszcze. Coś z tymi dreszczami mieliśmy. Branie na dreszcze. Dreszcze plus 1.
The once bright mural.
Dalej 3%. Bez sensu. Dobra. No tego się nie dowiemy w takim razie, a ten?
And Mikhail noticed the windows. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez?
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext. Oh yes, so Mikhail? No, I can't say that we've met. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence.
But I assume you're not here.
This man is your half-brother. Well, get a load of this guy. He really...
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one off.
So you haven't seen anyone?
No, I'm sorry. As I...
There's something friendly and familiar in... He's telling the truth. He has...
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is...
It looks old and weathered.
That's not surprising. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, 𝗱𝗵𝗹 became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But 𝗱𝗵𝗹 had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and Faraday ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, 𝗀𝗵𝗲𝗰𝗵𝗁, 𝗂𝗍𝗔, and 𝗂𝗏, haven't achieved yet. Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. 𝗱𝗏's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by 𝗱𝗏, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built matinees proper as a resort for their middle management. 𝗱𝗏 built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before 𝗱𝗏 arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being le décret de Mars.
A co to było?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
Kosmiczna.
A short-lived legislative foundation for...
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested. Actually, no one knows. No one even...
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little...
Wait, did he just say 𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗁𝗍? He did it. He said 𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗍 Center. Like it's the most... What the hell is a 𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗍 Center?
The 𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗁 Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory. In fact, I'm not. The 𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗍 Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in 𝗱𝗏 and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even.
Made of black film and folding tape structure.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution.
Tak, zużyłem niepotrzebnie.
The official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as, who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. But of course, what else? Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing...
Of course, Detective, I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matt, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. No, thanks to you.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
Mhm. Co ja dostałem za myśl? 𝗰𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗁? 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗁? 𝗰𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵. Chciałem wiedzieć, co mi to da. Nie mogę wiedzieć, na czym to polega? No nie wiem, dobra. I tak nie ma miejsca, więc tutaj się nic nie wydarzy.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show...
This partner of his, Eyes, things...
Ale jak tam wejść? Jak nie tędy, to którędy? O, czyżby to był ten ziomek? Musimy jakiegoś ziomka znaleźć. Jest on?
Here we go.
Yeah!
There's a silly...
Znaleziony.
Who's there?
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Kryptofaszysta Gary. No.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe the police?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Zła Mielena.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice waterlock.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back.
Did he say we can go back?
Yes, Gary.
This is a man possessed, always on the brink of some...
Sir, your wife is waiting.
I just have to do one more round. See if the 𝗱𝗵𝗲𝗏 has taken the bait.
For all his passion, this man is...
I'm afraid not of it.
The lieutenant takes a short...
Well, first of all, it's damn good question. And I suspect it may have... It's my height, but I cannot...
Yes, it makes...
I'm expecting it to be quite your typical rookie. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian fact. Very little. Not yet.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the 𝗱𝗵𝗏𝗏 is driven by something more than...
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian 𝗱𝗵𝗏𝗏 is more...
What would it be like to grasp and hold onto something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhale?
Yes, the most it's the first credible sign. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs.
Yes, the Insulindian 𝗱𝗏𝗏𝗏... Well, yes. Simple. At least, that's the locusts.
Inside the traps, a number of... A meat-eating stick insect.
Thank you.
Not a big fan of skepticism.
They'll work.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thought...
Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But my wife understands.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out.
And leave the traps? Absolutely.
Come on.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the 𝗱𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 summit.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A very... Yes. That's how we first came to know one another.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mistake.
Suffice to say, it's long been at... No.
He's dead set on... I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such... Yes, indeed. There are 4. Another we set in Land's End. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed.
Ja pierdolę. Zaraz będę szukał jeszcze pułapek. Coraz więcej. Ta gra się otwiera dopiero.
That seemed like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? I have a feeling the only people foolish enough to spend their time...
That's hard. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it.
I hope you're not buying this.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50. Bring it to me at once.
He's not comfortable with
Right.
whatever he...
Finally.
Thank you for your help.
If it's more but what if the information is vital?
I've just all...
He seems reluctant to...
It's not child's play. Real. I know you think one is a respectable no. Everything.
He's
Most established. Real. My method. No. No. Of the list of two are categorized as confirmed discoveries. Yes. We cryptozoologists are in fact.
He has clearly done his math on this.
Yes. All right.
We would have... You need to ask him about...
A willow.
Willow people?
They're not people. They're very...
Ja pierdolę, ile tego tekstu jest. Jesus. Oh mein Gott.
They're not people. They're very, very scary, and I, after waiting, I'll chase...
Lavenders.
I know you. Furthermore...
He makes it a real...
All right. I'll see...
A warm...
We traveled to the search...
What?
Real?
Darren?
Yes. Back to...
Formerly the most dangerous yes. The human rim, just like you can.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
Of course.
The body's found it.
A detective.
Understood, Lieutenant. That's impressive, I guess. Of course, I haven't had it. I feel...
Yes, it remains unclear what this has got to do with...
Oh, although, probably a flight when it's not Mijanu. Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. No, me? I'm not a people person. By all means.
Ja pierdzielę.
Hello, Yellow Man.
The Lieutenant... Yellow Man.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civil... I like Nate.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Dark times will do that to good men.
To pański kubek?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Widzę, że pan go rozpoznaje.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. You're not going to find me, are you? Oh, God.
This is a considerable expense to him. It's, in a way, admirable how quickly he composes himself.
And I'll never do it again. I don't...
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing.
Jak zdołał pan otworzyć pojemnik śmieci?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash container so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. I'm sorry, okay?
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash
He studies his reaction.
Officer, please. Let me...
Proszę wyjaśnić.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where...
Co się stało?
I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well...
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he...
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more.
I hope I could help your
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
I told you everything.
Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though.
Opanowanie.
It's something else.
No. I helped not many Sealites.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one? Well, this is that racist.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. Oh, yes.
Sounds like some conspiracy. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thing?
Sure do. In my home. Yes. When I was going to... Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him... What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. Whatever it... I won't do it again.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Dobra, spróbujmy go jeszcze tam wycisnąć. Sorry, że ja to przeskipowuję, ale to jest tak dużo.
Officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something... No, he's scrawny. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I was ashamed.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. This...
Gary! What's going...
Later, Morale!
No, you've got explaining to do.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the... But so...
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. So only the cuirass was left.
We're detecting sincere
It's okay.
I'm so...
They were thoroughly conservative men. It's difficult to say what...
Because I...
The hell?
I'll explain later. I always...
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely.
Dobra. Dobrze, mamy już kolejną część. Ale jazda.
A metal and plastic contract.
That over there.
Ooh, hidden? You lift the boy out of the water without the number...
Simple construction.
There's something in... It smells like you... A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae. And...
Well, damn. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. Could be.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Boja została znaleziona, tak? Nie to. Co to jest?
There's a trap in the reed behind you. The locusts are crawling.
Big surprise. No, you weren't.
Nothing has...
Ja tam nie mogę pójść? Ej, no chyba tam nie mogę pójść. Albo nie mogę znaleźć trasy. W każdym razie, no na jedno wychodzi chyba.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall.
Okej, zapis.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them. a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's 10 meters away. Other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
Co to jest?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed.
O kurwa, kolejne gówno.
Did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Dobrze, ale wrócimy do tego w następnym odcinku. Serdecznie dziękuję za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia. No i cześć. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie mojego materiału. Mam nadzieję, że Wam się podobało. Jeżeli Wam się spodobało, pamiętajcie, żeby kliknąć kciuk w górę, zasubskrybować i kliknąć dzwoneczek. Wszystko, aby zawsze być na bieżąco. Jeżeli macie coś do napisania, napiszcie komentarz, dzięki temu będę wiedział, że jesteście, że Wam się podoba i przede wszystkim, że chcecie, żeby tych materiałów pojawiało się więcej. Dodatkowo, jeżeli chcecie się wdzięczyć za to, co robię i podoba Wam się moja praca, pamiętajcie, że możecie kliknąć w moją nazwę, wejdziecie do strony głównej mojego kanału, kliknąć opcję wesprzyj i za 2 zł, 10 albo 30 zostaniesz wspierającymi według Waszej tutaj chęci i potrzeby oddania trochę tej dobroci w moją stronę. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia i życzę Wam miłego. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszelkim wspierającym za to, że jesteście. Dziękuję tym, którzy byliście wspierającymi i dziękuję wszystkim tym, którzy po tym właśnie filmiku zdecydowaliście się na wsparcie. Przede wszystkim to nie jest tak, że wspieracie osobę, która ma tysiące widzów. Wspieracie małą społeczność, której dzięki każdej osobie z Was, każdej złotówce, którą mi przelejecie, każdym 2 złotym, które jesteście wspierającymi ptasiakami, za każdą tą jedną osobę bardzo serdecznie dziękuję i za każdą tą złotówkę dziękuję, ponieważ dzięki temu po prostu mam chęci, mam motywację i przede wszystkim mam dodatkowe finanse, które pozwalają utrzymać ten kanał i utrzymać wszystko, co się wokół niego dzieje, włącznie z kosztami prądu, kosztami kupowania nowego sprzętu, kupowania nowych gier i w ogóle całego czasu, które spędzam, czy to nagrywając, czy to streamując i czy to, jeżeli w przypadku wielu sytuacji rozmawiając i wspierając osoby, które w jakiś sposób czują się gorzej. Więc moja działalność jest bardzo szeroka i cieszę się, że doceniacie ją. Jeżeli ktoś z Was czuje się gorzej i chciałby ze mną porozmawiać i ma jakieś takie problemy, możecie do mnie napisać, zagadać. Wszystko na Discordzie, a link do Discorda w opisie.